Have you ever noticed how many award shows there are? Stay tuned. Bible 360 starts right now. Welcome to the Bible 360 podcast. I'm your host, Keyston France, and off of the top of my head, I can think of maybe a few award shows. You have the Oscars, the Golden Globes, the Grammys, the Tony Awards, the Emmys, you have the BET Awards, Stellar Awards. All of these pertain to the entertainment industry. Now, think of all of the awards in other industries, business, advertising, journalism, etc., both locally and nationally. Once we add in global awards, the list is almost beyond our comprehension. Let me be clear. In and of itself, there's nothing wrong with giving or receiving an award. I'm simply making the point that humans love to honor and glorify themselves. It comes naturally to us, What doesn't come naturally is living for the glory of God. The author Paul Tripp once said, "The sin in our hearts has turned us into glory thieves." You see, we were created for the praise of His glory, but instead we live in our own glory, stealing the glory that is rightfully His. Turning the spotlight on ourselves, our souls cry, "Look how amazing I am. Look at what I can do." But notice where the Apostle Paul aims the spotlight in today's key verse. 1 Timothy 1:17, "Now the King, eternal, immortal, invisible, the only God, be honor and glory forever. Amen." It's focused right where it should be, on the King of glory. This verse is what's known as a doxology. You might have heard it in church at the end, but literally meaning speak glory or praise. Frankly, it's one thing to read a doxology, but another thing to live it. As I've alluded to, our world constantly encourages us to write a doxology centered around our own glory, not God's. And more times than not, we gladly oblige. So what can we do? How is it even possible to live for the glory of God? Well, let me offer a few suggestions from the passage. Number 1, be grateful for grace. Only one thing is powerful enough to rescue us from our obsession with glorifying ourselves: grace. Paul is so grateful for the grace of God that his heart explodes into this particular doxology. If you and I want to live for His glory, we must wake up every day remembering the grace we've received and still receive. As recipients of such amazing grace, how could we continue living as glory thieves? Number 2, remember you are not the king. If we are followers of Jesus, He is our king. As the King of glory, His reign should influence our actions, reactions, attitudes, choices, relationships, finances, you name it. There shouldn't be an area of our lives that is off limits to His lordship. Living for His glory entails a continuous, ever-increasing surrender to His authority. Number 3, your glory is not eternal or immortal. Let's just face the fact. Life is fleeting. We're just a blip on the timeline of eternity. Most of these so-called glorious things we've done won't be remembered in 50 or 100 years. And I hate to break it to you, but any awards we may have won on earth will one day rot in a landfill somewhere. In that light, doesn't it make sense to start living for the one who is eternal and immortal? 10,000 years from now, we'll still marvel at His glory and have an eternity to go. Today, you'll write a doxology with the way you live your life. The question is, will it be about your glory or the King of glory? And if the glory awards were to be held, to whom would you cast your ballot? Think about it.